The sixth secret: remolding consciousness. This involves consciously correcting deeply ingrained false beliefs and old conditioning, the letter of truth, until the truth falls from the head into the heart and becomes a spontaneous, realized state of being. Joel shares, one of the steps leading up to living by grace rather than taking thought is to keep the mind imbued with truth. In all the writings of the Infinite Way, it has been made clear that we never outgrow the letter of truth, that is, the principles. We must always have them as a rock and as a foundation. At first, we hold to the letter of truth intellectually. For example, we instruct the mind, as it were, to hold to God as one power. Through imbuing the mind with truth, we are remolding our state of consciousness, and one day we will not consciously have to hold to one power because it will be so much part of us that we will not even have to deny any other power. The mind cannot choose to do this. We must choose, and we must hold to the principle of one power. Every time the suggestion of another power is presented to us, we answer with, "No, I have accepted God as the only power." As we abide in this principle, we are rebuilding our state of consciousness. We are dying to the belief in two powers, and are being reborn into the consciousness of one power. From Consciousness is What I Am, Chapter 3, The Mind is a Transparency, Joel Goldsmith. Deep insights. Accepting God as the only power implies a realization that there is nothing and no one that can attack you. This takes away the old habit of defending yourself. Taking thought for our actions is the obstacle to living the spontaneous, realized state of being, the living by grace. Noetic Science. Pruning the conditioning pathways. Neuroplasticity is the way that your brain processes stimuli. It is always efficient in its ways. It operates on the principle of neurons that fire together, wire together. Conversely, neurons that stop firing together lose their tether. Change your habits or beliefs has a big impact on how your brain is functioning. When you stop chasing a false belief, the synaptic density of those specific neuropathways begin to decrease. The brain, being energy efficient, stops maintaining the metabolic infrastructure for those old thought loops. It starts to disappear. If you don't have to defend yourself any longer since you realize that God is the only power, something drastically changes in your physicality. Imagine a situation that you have associated with fear. Conditioning is often fueled by the amygdala, a hormonal gland in the brain, responsible for the flight or fight response. As you stop reacting to these beliefs in the old way, but relax in the certainty of the one power, the physical connection between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex weakens, making it harder for old programs to hijack your emotional state. Your heartbeat slows down. You start to discover what lies beyond fear. Your sense of well-being increases. Miracles with Jesus. Jesus walks on water. When evening came, his disciples went down to the sea, got into a boat, and started across the sea to Capernaum. It was now dark, and Jesus had not yet come to them. The sea became rough, because a strong wind was blowing. When they had rowed about 3 or 4 miles, they saw Jesus walking on the sea and coming near to the boat, and they were frightened. But he said to them, "It is I, Do not be afraid." Then they were glad to take him into the boat, and immediately the boat was at the land to which they were going. Temptation of Jesus. Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And after fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. And the tempter came and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command these stones to become loaves of bread." But he answered, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God." Then the devil took him to the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you, and on their hands they will bear you up, and lest you strike your foot against a stone." Jesus said to him, "Again it is written, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test." Again the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all of the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, "All these I will give you, if you will fall down and worship me." Then Jesus said to him, "Begone, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and Him only shall you serve." Then the devil left him, and behold, angels came and were ministering to him. Transformative Principles. When you are no longer a slave of fear, miracles of love are within your easy reach. Falling from the head into the heart is no longer chasing earthly dreams of limitation, but instead opening the door to the kingdom within. Your happiness is in aligning your will with the will of God. A poem. May I remember. May I remember that my divinity reveals itself and rises in light. May the sharing of my frequency of love illuminate beyond the universe. May I remember my enlightened spirit, my sovereignty, my unity with my brothers, the grace by which I live. May I remember that in peace I open myself and can lay everything down on my inner altar, in completedness in the sanctuary of the Eternal Father. May I remember infinite joy, perfect innocence, and my freedom where the essence shines in heaven. May the here and now be holy and multidimensional. May I remember like a treasure chest that my soul, reflection of the divine, is my identity, that only the creations of light are real. Let us remember. Welcome home. Poem by Michele.